So let's just get some more details on this. Joining me now is Dr. Ravza Kavakci Kan, one of the members of Parliament from here. Dr. Khan, thank you for joining us on TRT World. First of all, of course, there is this anxiety. Many people are asking what's going to be happening today. What sort of decisions are we expecting from the Parliament? Tell us about the agenda.
Of course, we will be passing a mandate for the military, Turkish military, to take the necessary measures if there's anything that threatens our national security. But this is just a security measure that we will be taking today. I'm hoping and praying that there won't be any need for the usage. As you have mentioned, that Turkey has been against this referendum vote on the basis that it is not something that's in accordance with the constitution of Iraq, and the Iraqi parliament has opposed it, and the main groups in the Iraqi government have opposed it as well. One of the important things to note is this is not something just for the Kurdish population, because it doesn't represent all of the Kurdish population in Iraq, and the Kurdish members of parliament are against it as well. And there are different groups within Iraq. There are Turkmens, Yazidis, and many different ethnic groups whose voices are not being represented as far as this referendum issue is concerned. So we do respect the territorial integrity of Iraq as Turkey, but as you know, through Syria, also we have been dealing with terrorism on multiple facets. We're dealing with Daesh terrorism. Turkey has been left alone in the first days against this fight, during this fight against Daesh terrorism, and taken the necessary measure, has done more than its share also with respect to taking in refugees. Our brothers and sisters from Syria are our guests, and we will never keep our doors open to people who are fleeing for their lives. And we don't want to have an unstable situation in Iraq as well. So this is just a security measure for Turkey to take in case there is a need and there is something that threatens our national security as Turkey. It will give our military the ability to move within international law, within the international frameworks, and under the United Nations sanctions that enable Turkey to take this measure.
Now, Turkey, Iran and Iraq have adopted a very clear position on this. They're opposed to this referendum, but there are some allies who are talking about a postponement. Yes. They're saying that in principle they're not opposed to it, it's just the timing. What would be Turkey's message to them?
It is not an issue of timing, but it's an issue of we do respect Iraqi democracy, whatever they decide. However, this is not something that represents, as I mentioned, the Iraqi population's decision. It doesn't represent the whole people of Iraq. So that is why we don't think that it's a good idea to postpone it, but to completely cancel this referendum. If it is something that needs to be discussed, it needs to be discussed in the federal parliament first, and then it needs to be in accordance with the Iraqi constitution. Then, of course, we will respect whatever the decision Iraqi people take.
Dr. Ravza Kavakci Kan, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on TRT World. The message is very clear from Ankara. This referendum is unacceptable. Deputy Prime Minister Bekir Bozdağ has said that there's a need for the KRG to use common sense and not take any emotional decisions that would have implications not just for Turkey, but for regional security. Kamali.
Okay, Hassan in Ankara, thank you very much.